Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachahakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the elders at Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations, as always, to the elect. Another episode going into news and prophecy, linking to things happening worldwide, to the Holy Scriptures via biblical prophecy. All right, so that we can show the faithful elect remnant that the words of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, faithful and true, all right, as spoken by his holy prophets of old and those who have been raised up here in these latter days singing the new song, all right, which also entails condemnation, all right, to the heathen nations, all right, in particular the biblical Edomites who rule, all right, and reign on the earth at this present, all right, in this beast system, which the Bible describes, all right, in the Old and New Testament as the final world rulership, all right, which is the revival of Rome, all right. We have identified them, all right, along with the heathen who are joined unto them, okay. Also, 2/3 of our people who do not want to repent, okay, and come back to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, who are mocking the prophets, who are living lascivious, wicked lifestyles, all right, destruction unto them as well, all right. And we're going to get into a few news articles and videos dealing with the cashless system that's being set up. The Edomite has nothing left but to do what the Holy Scripture said he would do, all right? But then they're also setting up a system as to where people who are calling it out, okay, and who are showing these things to be, anti-Messiah, wicked, all right, and linking them to the Scriptures, calling it out to be the enemies of the state. Okay, so we'll get into this as well. As you can see, the war on people who believe, all right, in conspiracies, okay, increasing, whether it's the UN, the elite, okay, everywhere you look, you're seeing this narrative. All right, the White House, all right, if you disagree with the masses, if you have an opinion against the common, if you got an opinion against what the government is doing, which they're only being pushed by people above them. You got to understand that these particular people who are placed in front of you, presidents, governors, at the end of the day, they're all doing the bidding of the elites, all right, and there is divisions and so forth, all right, but at the end of the day, this message, okay, of the Israelites is getting ready to be targeted, all right, hardcore, as I have this as well, which was sent to me, the water, to the brother who sent it. As you can see, the contemporary, all right, violent extremist, all right, and the so-called Black Hebrew Israelite movement, all right, which this was created on September the 2022. All right. So it's a lot going on. We're going to get into a few things, and Lord willing, you brothers and sisters be edified. We're at the end of this man's system. All right. And everything that John the Revelator saw, okay, we're seeing it take place. All right. He saw and explained everything that we are going through right now and are seeing being set up right now. We should be able to link it to biblical prophecy. But meanwhile, all right, you have Israelite camps that are still, pushing false narratives and lies, not building up our people, all right, for the day, all right, of battle. As a matter of fact, all right, and ours is a spiritual battle, because that's where Esau ultimately seeks to wear out the saints to the point of submission. Okay, and a lot of our people love this world, and they haven't been taught the truth of what the elite are doing, all right, as it pertains to the Holy Scriptures. All right, they just think, all right, yeah, we're Israelites. They hate us. All right, but everything that they're doing, all right, is going to attack the people. All right, it's going to attack you Israelites. All right, it's going to force you to, choose comfort over uncomfort. And if you're not being built up with the right mindset, okay, what are you going to do? You're going to bow the knee. And that's the fight, according to the book of Second Esdras, the 7th chapter. Okay, this is the condition of the battle. All right. If you get the victory, you get the victory. All right, which was given from the foundation of the earth. And if you be overcome, all right, then ultimately you be overcome. And we hope to be of the household of faith that don't move off of our deen and are rooted, as the scriptures say, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time. So this is the book of Ezekiel, the 13th chapter, and the 2nd verse. It says, Son of man, prophesy against the prophets of Israel that prophesy, all right, and say unto them that prophesy out of their own hearts, which is their mind, hear ye the word of the Lord. All right, and you have a lot of camps prophesying out of their own hearts. All right, the things that are happening around you, all right, they refuse to speak on them. They act as if they're not there. They're telling you it's okay to bow the knee. They told you it was okay to take the juice. All right. And when this charagma comes, which it is coming, all right, they're going to tell you it's okay to take that. Okay. For some reason, there are particular camps, okay, who refuse to speak on the technologies that are boasting themselves up against Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai. And that's who we're here to uplift. As the scriptures say, do not I hate them, O Lord, that hate thee. You see, and the system that's being set up is centered around hatred, okay, of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, all right, and ultimately jealousy of the elect, the true Israelites, so that they can set up, all right, their own version of a kingdom and their own blessing, all right, as they've been rejected. You see, they're trying to use their technology to forge, all right, their name into the earth, making a name for themselves, just like what was happening at the time of the Tower of Babel with Nimrod and the people who were helping to build that tower, okay, which was a one world order. And we see that same thing happening now, all right, but it's very subtle. And if you're not watching, all right, you're going to be caught in that snare. All right, and the Apostle Tahar, of late in these latest videos, or as you can see here, he's been talking about how these particular camps are still pushing this weird doctrine, and for some reason they're not speaking on what we see before us. They're sticking to the fact that the MOTB is sin, all right, which we sin every day within the system of Edomite supremacy. It's set up so that Israelites constantly go off. We have sins unknowingly, all right, but sometimes we go off, all right, and we have to repent and catch ourselves, all right. So if the MOTB is sin, then we're doomed, as if you take that, okay, you're going to be utterly destroyed. All right, you see the title of this video on Elders in Transit 3. The Apostle Tahar is loading here for now, as his other page got a strike. But the title of the video is, what is the last prophecy before destruction? Most camps don't teach this. Okay, and what is he going into? You already know it. The charagma, the MOTB, which is very, very important, all right, to end time prophecy. Now, a lot of people may say, well, why do y'all constantly harp on this? Well, when you read Revelation, the 14th chapter, the new song, the everlasting gospel, warning against the MOTB is a big part of it. As a matter of fact, let's get that in the book of Revelation, the 14th chapter. Okay, because the very system that's being set up around you is centered around ushering that technology in. Okay, which is high level blasphemy. Okay, here it is. The Lord, all right, has promised us a kingdom. Okay, and he said that he gave us a mark in the form of the blood covering our doorposts. When you read Ezekiel 9:4, he says, set a mark on the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. And when you go into that word, it's thawa, And it means what? Exempt from judgment. Okay, and he promises us that we're going to be upgraded, given new bodies. Well, here it is. This devil on the left-hand side is saying, I can give you immortality via technology. Okay, so you have two opposing doctrines. All right, and they're getting ready to clash like never before. This is why they're preparing a war, all right, on particular mindsets. Okay, so let's go here to Revelation 14. Okay, now in this chapter, just to break it down quickly, all right, the 144,000, which some of those men are on the earth, they have the new song. They're the only ones who have the new song. And the new song has been being sung, okay? It's not it ain't just now being sung, as you have particular men, all right, who may have been kicked out, all right? They'll set up and get mad and say, well, this is the truth. Now, no, the truth has already been sung, and it's still being sung, all right? We don't have to stop and find somebody else to listen to. No, the new song is being sung, all right? And the new song is fulfilled in what? All right, Revelation 14:6, and I saw another angel fly in the midst of heaven, having the everlasting gospel to preach to them that dwell on the earth, and to every nation, kindred, and people and tongue. And that's being done on earth through men. All right, but it's the angels, okay, it's from the spiritual realm where the message comes. All right, so the angels, all right, put particular messages in men's mouth to speak on earth. All right. And through things like, all right, the internet, YouTube, this word has been spread throughout the four corners of the earth. Now, when you read the book of Matthew, the 24th chapter, once the gospel was preached, the end would come. So we're witnessing the end of what? Esau's world come through what? The preaching of the gospel. All right. Which has been being sung, but primarily to the extent that is being spread started at around 2007, but you had men laboring before this word was really going out on YouTube like that. All right, going all the way back to the 60s and 70s. All right, starting with Elijah the prophet, a man by the name of Abba Bivens, who was supposed to come, and through him, that would be the trigger effect of the prophets to be raised up in the planet Earth. Just like when John the Baptist was born, his father couldn't speak before that, but when he was born, his father was able to speak. And now this word is being preached and prophesied throughout the four corners of the earth like never before. And what is the message of those who have the new song? All right. Now it says 144,000. All right. But as you read down, some of these men are in the spiritual realm. Okay. But some are on the earth. All right. And wherever they are, all right, there's no gal foul in their mouth. They have the 100% truth. And Lord willing, we're of that number. Now it says, this is the message of those men on the earth. Okay, through the heavens. Okay, it's being spoken on earth. Okay, saying with a loud voice, fear God. And that's what the temple was in the first place. The temple represented, okay, the heavens meeting the earth. All right. And now there's a spiritual temple being built through men who are small sanctuaries. All right. Throughout the four corners of the earth, wherever they may be. They're likened unto altars. OK, the heavens meets the earth without a physical temple. It's a spiritual temple. So what are they saying with a loud voice? Fear the Most High and give glory to him, for the hour of his judgment is come. That's what we're saying. And worship him that made heaven and earth and sea and the fountains of waters, which that's Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. Okay? Because the Most High did all of these things, but it was through Yahushai. All right? And the holy angels under him. Okay? The first fruits, it says, so this is our message. Okay? Fear the Most High and give glory, for judgment is coming. Stop worshiping these idols, all of these false philosophies, and come back to the Lord. Ain't that what we saying? And there followed another angel, okay? In each of these 144,000 are Israelites, according to Revelation, the 7th chapter. and they're preaching to Israelites, but they also have a message for the heathen. Okay, and through that message, Babylon is going to be destroyed. All right, now when you keep going down, verse 9 says, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, as the scriptures say, cry aloud, spare not. Okay, this is speaking of the prophets who are out. Because you got to think, in Revelation 13, the devil is going to try and set up his plan. He's going to try to establish his NWO via the administering of that charagma. But then you have, in Revelation 14, the counter to that, which is the prophets who have victory already through the Holy Spirit. All right, and via their grace period, this is what they would be doing to be entered into that new covenant, which Yahweh's blood was shed to cover the elect in this time. So what would they be saying? All the time. And if it's a new song, it's going to constantly be sung. It ain't something that they're going to shy away from. All right? And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture, all right, into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. So this is the judgment, and this is the message that will be preached along with repentance and everything else. A part of the everlasting gospel, the new song, is to constantly be talking about not taking the mark of the beast. So for anyone saying, y'all keep talking about that, that's not important, you out of your damn mind. Because the hour of temptation is upon us. And why is it called the hour of temptation? Because you are going to be tempted. Okay? And they're going to use the earth's resources that you need to survive as a means to tempt you to bow the knee. So we, according to the Holy Scriptures, are supposed to what? Prepare our people with the proper mindset, all right, as to what to do and what mind to be as concerning these things that they're going to try to give you and make you to do. That's why the scriptures say the elect that have the gospel would love not their lives unto death. They're not going to preach you a message of saving your life here. They're not going to teach you a message of you got to do what you got to do to eat. They're going to preach a message of extreme, hardcore faith. Okay? So, again, Ezekiel 13:2, Son of man, prophesy against the prophets of Israel that prophesy, and say unto them that prophesy out of their own hearts, hear ye the word of the Lord. And this is what we constantly do, and when we do it, Jake gets mad. But some Jake are starting to wake up. Okay? Because as the Apostle Tahar has been focused on, you have to use critical thinking. If somebody is telling you you ain't got to worry about the actual technology we see being placed in front of us, if somebody is telling you it's okay to go ahead and jab up and the Lord won't care if you take a chip, if somebody is constantly doing videos and going into the MOTB but somehow not condemning the technology and the microchip, then you got to question what's going on with this man. Why doesn't he want to condemn this technology, which is so proudly boasting against Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai? Why ain't they seeing that a cashless society is being set up? What could that lead to? You'll have particular camps. For years they'll say, well, the MOTB is sin, and then of recent, they'll say, well, the MOTB is Esau's military, Esau's monetary system. Wait a minute. Can't they take the monetary system and make it digital and set up a system to where you have to do particular things or have particular things in order to have access to that cash? It's already happening in China. Okay? Thus saith the Lord God, woe unto the foolish prophets that follow their own spirit and have seen nothing. You niggas haven't seen anything. All of these years you've been partying, BSing, laughing, mocking, screaming, Judah, doing all of this stuff that, really, and there's nothing wrong with partying. There's nothing wrong with mirth, but those things have their time. According to the book of Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter, there's a time for everything. And the scriptures also say a wise man's mind. Let's get that real quick. Because you can just get pissed off. I wasn't even this angry, but once I started preaching, it's a damn shame of what's happening in Israel, man. You got niggas in their feelings. They ain't prophesying. Ecclesiastes 8:5. Woe, whoso yeah, woe to you, nigga. Whoso keepeth the commandment shall feel no evil thing, and a wise man's heart discerneth both time and judgment. So a wise man's mind knows what time that he's in. Okay, as we read the other day at camp, with all of these things happening, the sword being sharpened, which is Esau Edom, shall we then make mirth? Ecclesiastes 3:1. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under heaven. Let's NLT that thing. The New Love Translation. All right. For everything there is a season and a time for every activity under heaven. And you got to be able to discern. Now, for years, we've been telling you, get out of that party BS mindset. And Jake made it to seem as though we were saying partying and having fun amongst is wicked. No, there's nothing wrong with that. But that's not the times we're in. Okay? The holy days. There's holy days where you party, Hanukkah. There's holy days where you party, but there's holy days that you should take to push a serious mindset to our people about the severity of what situation that they're in. So there's a time for everything. For a time to weep, a time to laugh, a time to mourn, and a time to dance. We're not in a time of laughing and dancing. Okay? a time to get and a time to lose. We're in a time where we're going to have to lose this world and deal with some serious uncomforts, but the Lord is going to have us. He knows how far you can go and can't go. A time to keep and a time to cast away. There's a lot you're going to have to cast away in these times. Okay? Why? Because the devil is going to say you got to rebel against the Heavenly Father hardcore in order to have what you have. And you're going to have to choose between who the true provider is. Okay? A time to rend and a time to sow, a time to keep silent and a time to speak. See that? We're in the time of speaking, concealing not. A time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. Ain't no peace coming to this earth. Okay? So you got to understand what times you're in, man. Okay, and we'll get those articles and stuff. All right? But the Spirit's on me to bring these things out real quick. Okay? Let's finish this up in Ezekiel, and then we'll get these articles. Ezekiel 13:3. Thus saith the Lord God, woe unto the foolish prophets that follow their own spirit and have seen nothing. O Israel, thy prophets are like foxes in the desert. All right? Ye have not gone up into the gaps, neither made up the hedge for the house of Israel to stand in the battle of the day of the Lord, and the day of the Lord is near. You see that? NLT. They have done nothing to repair the breaks in the walls around the nation. All right? We're repairing the breaches, right? They have not helped it to stand firm in the battle of the day of the Lord. All right? And there's going to be a battle. Hey, the Lord said he would have war with Amalek from generation to generation. They're the ones funding all of these things. They're behind all of this rebellion. They have seen vanity and lying divination, saying the Lord saith. Okay? Yeah, the Lord said he don't care if you take a chip. What type of nigga are you, man? General Yohana. And the Lord have not sent them, and they have made others to hope that they would confirm the word. Okay? Instead, they have told lies and made false predictions. We're going to be all right. Ain't no Jacob's trouble. Jacob's trouble is gay. the people who are doing the evil survived, or demons who survived the flood. Okay, with Mitri's on, half men, half a demon, controlling the world. No, man, a nation called Esau Edom controls the world, and it was via a blessing given unto them by Isaac. Okay, everything happening now, we should be able to tie it to biblical prophecy, including the technology we see that they're boasting in. How about that? Even though the Lord has not sent them, they say the Lord declares and expect him to fulfill their words, and it's not going to work. You're going to soon find out, as the book of Ezekiel, the 33rd chapter say, that the prophets were among you. Now, as the scriptures say, let's get that in Isaiah, the 10th chapter real quick. Okay. Isaiah 10:1. Woe to them that decree unrighteous decrees and that write grievousness which they have prescribed. And there's a lot of unrighteous executive orders and decrees that have been prescribed, which have been written down, but they're putting them in play, all right, for the infrastructure of the MOTB system. Okay. Now, we already know, all right, about your boy Joe Biden and this executive order 14067. All right, which when you go into it is dealing with a digital currency, is dealing with the whole climate control ordeal. All right, which we already know what the hell is going on. You see the two horns coming out of his devil head. But I typed it in, and what is the first article that comes up? No, Biden's executive order won't replace paper money with digital currency. It may not replace it, all right, immediately, but in case of particular situations and other false flags, it sure can. And on down the line, it will be used to administer it here in America. Okay, and we're going to go into a video that kind of goes into it. But all over the world, we're seeing cashless central bank digital currencies being talked about. And we're going to show you. And they're putting all these distractions in your face. But meanwhile, this is what's being set up. Okay? Biomanufacturing. We're going to get into that as well. All right. Biden signs order on $52 billion chip law implementation. Okay. And those chips ain't just for people. It's for everything. Everything is going to be tracked within this NWO. All right. But we'll get into that. See right here. Biden announces boost for biotech in biomanufacturing. Okay? We're going to get into that. All right? But let's go here first as the beloved brother, all right, Zionala. Okay, as you can see here, his YouTube handle is Shalakla, all right, Amath 2. All right? Subscribe and be edified. Beautiful videos. The title of this video is Spike Lee is being used to promote the ushering in of digital currency. Let's play it.
Our currency is not current. Old money, as rich as it looks, is flat out broke. Don't believe me? I got the receipts. They call it green, but it's only white. Where's the women? The black folks, and the people of color. Native Americans got a nickel. A nickel! People don't even stop to pick up a nickel off the sidewalk. 7 million Americans have no bank account. 20 million underbanked. Old money's not gonna pick us up. It pushes us down, exploits, systematically oppresses. But new money is positive. Inclusive. You don't have to wear no fancy lace. Fluid. Strong. Culturally rich. Where status is anything but status quo. Do your own research. The digital rebellion is here. Old money's out. New money is in.
There you have it. All right, Coin Cloud, bringing digital currency to all. All right, and of course, they always gonna put some sellout. All right, on the job. All right, to warm up Jake's minds because everything is off of the back of Jake. If a nigga does it, everybody should do it, right? All right, now concerning this deal with Creepy Joe with this executive order, let's play this video. It's off of the brother, I don't know his Hebrew name, but Lively Locksmith 03. Subscribe. All right, some very, very good material up there.
Hi everyone, thanks for joining me for today's talk. There's an urgent situation unfolding in America, and today I'll unveil all the unnerving details. So let's get started with a critical question. Where were you on March 9th, 2022, when President Biden signed the death warrant on American freedom? On that day, in hush ceremony at the White House, without the approval of Congress, the states, or the American people, Biden signed into law Executive Order 14067. Buried in his order are a few paragraphs titled Section 4. The language in Section 4 makes Order 14067 the most treacherous act by a sitting president in the history of our republic, because Section 4 sets the stage for legal government surveillance of all U.S. citizens, total control over your bank accounts and purchases, and the ability to silence all dissenting voices for good. In this new war on freedom, the Dems aren't coming for your guns. No, they're thinking much bigger than that. They're coming for your money. And it's already started. Hi, my name is Jim Rickards. I'm a former advisor to the Pentagon, the White House, Congress, the CIA, and the Department of Defense. I'm also an attorney, investment banker, and author of 7 books on currencies and international economics. When places like Fox, CNBC, or Bloomberg want to know what's about to shake up the global economy, they call me. Most of all, like you, I'm a proud American patriot. The disturbing predictions you're about to see are based on my independent research and my contacts in the intelligence community. I've never made this kind of public announcement before, but it's my duty to pull the alarm. This is what I believe Section 4 of Biden's order means for all Americans. The U.S. dollar will be made obsolete. Soon your cash will be confiscated or will simply be worthless paper. The cash currency we have now will be replaced.
All right, and that's prophecy. As a matter of fact, let's get that in the book of Ezekiel. Let's see here. This is Ezekiel 7 and 18. They shall also gird themselves with sackcloth, and horror shall cover them, all right, during this collapse, all right, and that which is then is now, all right, as is going to be a famine, okay, systematically, and all many manner of things are going to be happening, okay, and horror shall cover them, okay, and shame shall be upon all faces, baldness upon their heads. And that just means a position of mourning as all of these things start to happen in the planet Earth, okay? For example, okay, in Switzerland, all right, they're stating they're going to jail people because, remember, winter is coming, all right? They're going to jail people who turn heat above 66 degrees this winter. Now imagine it's cold as hell outside, okay, and because of the climate cap, okay, or the cost of natural gas, okay, and climate shutdowns and all of that, they tell you if you turn your heat above 66 degrees, you're going to jail. All right, these are the harsh realities that's coming to the planet Earth, okay? Citizens of Switzerland who dare turn their thermostats above, all right, a balmy 19 degrees Celsius, 66 degrees Fahrenheit over the winter may instead find themselves shivering in a prison cell. The cost of natural gas in Europe has increased more than tenfold amid the fallout from Russian invasion of Ukraine. All right. While Russia served natural gas shipments through the Nord Stream pipeline last week, according to the report, all right, ultimately Russia shut that down. All right. But you can keep reading on that. But these are the types of things that's going to be happening. All right. And as we're reading here in Ezekiel, the 7th chapter, okay, this is ultimately what happened when the Babylonians raided the temple. But again, that which is then is now. Okay, we're seeing a breakdown, and they're coming. All right, it says in verse 19, they shall cast their silver in the streets, and their gold shall be removed. Their silver and their gold shall not be able to deliver them in the day of wrath. All right, the wrath of Yahweh. They shall not satisfy their souls, neither fill their bowels, because it is the stumbling block of their iniquity. Okay, so people are getting ready to lose, and this is what we've been telling you. All right, now, if you NLT that thing, all right, if you NLT it, it says they will throw their money in the streets, tossing it out like worthless trash. All right, these are the days that are coming here, all right, to worldwide and here in Babylon the Great. Okay, money as you knew it is going to change. Okay, and they're going to set up systems, and they already have it in place. Okay, remember everything that's been happening from 2020 till now, starting with the Crown Royale 2019, the shutdowns, is leading into a new digital world order. All right, so it's going to come a point where money is going to be, all right, worthless trash. Okay, their silver and gold won't save them from the Lord's anger. It will neither satisfy nor feed them. Okay, so people have, wasted their time away, chasing and boasting in this paper dollar that isn't backed by anything. All right, well, what are they gonna do when it suddenly changes? Okay, and the same dollars that they're boasting in and flaunting all around on the TV, and wherever they are, killing each other over it, is worthless. See if there's any precepts that go into this as well. Give me 1 second here. Yep, riches profit not in the day of wrath, Proverbs 11:4, but righteousness deliver it from death. Okay. And there's others, but let's go back to this video. Well, this is a good one too, but let's go back here.
Place with a new programmable digital token. But the truth is, few outside the deep state recognize Biden's move for what it really is. If my predictions are correct, this is so much more sinister than simply replacing the cash dollar with a new digitized version. Friend, this new currency will allow for total control of all American citizens, because every digital dollar will be programmed by the government. That means they will be able to turn on or turn off your money at will. Not only that, but they'll be able to track and record every purchase you make. This is very different than online banking, and has nothing to do with crypto. I'll explain everything in a moment, but what you need to know now is AOC has already publicly declared her support for a government-controlled spyware currency. The digital dollar means Dems will be able to punish any contribution, purchase, or even social media comment that they don't like. And this isn't something years away. It's starting now. Biden's secret army has been hard at work, and U.S. trials are already well underway. In fact, our government is racing to catch up. China and Russia have already launched pilot programs for their own digital currencies. More than half the countries in the world and almost 90% of central banks are testing or exploring a digital currency right now. In my opinion, it's not a question of will the U.S. implement the digital dollar. It's just a question of when. And the answer to that is it's already happening. Under Project Lithium and Project Hamilton, the new spyware currency has been quietly tested for several years. There's no stopping it. I predict we'll see a digital dollar in circulation next year or 2024 at the latest.
Well, some of America's smartest men, including Robert Kiyosaki, investment guru and author of the personal finance book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, have some choice words for Executive Order 14067. It would behoove you to listen to them. Kiyosaki called President Joe Biden's signed executive order the most treasonous act in U.S. history, and the creation of a central bank digital currencies, or CBDC, as communism in its purest form, encouraging Americans to stay awake. And he's also joined by Jim Rickards, another economist, investor, and former CIA official, who's calling it a step toward the end of cash, the greenback in circulation since the Founding Fathers. The new digital tokens can be turned off if the government doesn't like what you're doing. And Rickards has 4 decades of experience on Wall Street. Rickards criticized CBDC and labeled it as Bitcoin's evil cousin. He also exposed the supposed singular event called C-Day, which according to him will take place on December 13th, 2022, and will disrupt the traditional financial systems in the United States. He said when what he calls C-Day happens, paper money would be worthless and the US dollar could crash. He further added that consumer spending and access to basic needs would be restricted and people holding too much money would be penalized.
Thanks to Section 4 of Biden's Order 14072, ordering urgent research into developing the digital dollar, I believe the US dollar, the standard of the world since 1792, will be replaced by a new currency, the digital dollar. These new electronic currencies are called CBDCs, or central bank digital currencies. I call the digital dollar Biden bucks because I want him to take full credit for what I consider to be crimes. This is not like the money in your online bank account. No, this is new and different. Every digital dollar will be a programmable token like Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies, but there's a big difference. Cryptocurrencies are decentralized digital currencies. Instead, if it plays out the way I see it, Biden bucks will have the full backing of the U.S. Federal Reserve. They will replace the cash.
And who owns the Federal Reserve? Okay, the elites. All right, that's why there's all of this talk about, okay, if you believe in conspiracy theories, if you're going to be the enemy because they're coming with their plan. Now, you can watch the rest of this video. I don't want to play the whole thing, but it's a good video. Lively Locksmith 03. All right, subscribe, and that brother got some good videos. Now, let's look at what's happening in the UK real quick, or what's being developed. This is off of A Time for Judgment. I'm going to just jump right to it. See here.
Would this even be necessary to do? And this is what's going on in the UK. And you can see this article here. UK cashless society a step closer as more than 23 million people abandon coins. Report predicts cash will account for just 6% of payments within a decade, prompting fears millions will be left behind. And this coincides with what they're doing with the removal of these cash notes. Now, they're transitioning. I always talk about that. It's very important to remember that these mind control tactics that they use, they're always transitional to get to where they want. They don't just throw it on you because they know if you react and you suddenly are in shock and you're not eased into this stuff, that there could be an uprising, there could be upheaval, there could be something done. So they ease you in. So what they're doing is they're taking this money out of circulation, which means that if you go somewhere with a $50 bill, $50 pound, whatever, $50 note, whatever you want to call it, if you go somewhere past September, say it's December, and you go to a store and you got the 50 pound note, they will not accept the 50 pound note. You have to either get that money into the bank before September or it's worth zero. That's right. Then what they're going to do is they're going to start circulating this new type of money, which is more of like a plastic money. Now, this works perfect, right? Because this will probably be more difficult to fold compared to paper cash or paper notes, right? I mean, think about it. They try to push this, well, it's very inconvenient to have cash. Nobody wants to carry around money. So now you'll have something that's like laminated in your pocket, which will be even more difficult to carry, which will make people go, I don't want this crap. I might as well just go digital. So they're going to take money away from people, and then they're going to limit how much they can recirculate. Does that make sense? So everybody who doesn't turn in your notes are then worth $0. Okay? For those of you who turned it in and put it in the bank, if you want some type of currency in your hand, we're going to make it bulkier and more difficult to carry. Okay? And then we're going to put less in circulation. This way we can continue to ease people out from cash and eventually the mark of the beast, which will be here and be inside your body. Like the stuff you see with the Amazon scanning of the palm, these things I've covered over the years. But this is what's going on in the UK. Take
See that? All right, now let's look. Check this video out.
a look.
Have you got an old 20 or 50 pound note in your wallet? You might not know that after September 30th, it'll no longer be legal tender in the UK. So we're here at the Bank of England to ask the Chief Cashier, Sarah John, what you should do with your old notes.
And also with the death of the so-called queen, all right, the currency that has her face on it has to be wiped out, and they have to replace it with the currency with the now King Andrew on the currency. So they can say, well, we're not going to print that many because of the particular crises that are going on. All right. And eventually cash, they plan in the future being phased out. Now, this coincides exactly with what John the Revelator saw. All right. The beast system do. Now you have to understand the beast system, UK, all right, although, you have the Brexit. Okay. They're a part of that. Okay, remember America was born out of the British. Okay, so the MOTB, all right, it deals with the beast system. It's not just America. It's the beast system. All right? And in China, it's already set up. And who really runs China behind closed doors at the end of the day? Okay? China is a democracy at the end. Who set that up? The British. Okay, so the elite have their hands in all of this. Okay, and they're just and with this whole little ritual of the queen, okay, they're ushering in something. Here it is, they're riding around. They got people looking at an empty casket. Okay, and meanwhile, real quick with her, here it is. They got you believing and with your eyes fixated on the TV, mourning the queen. All right, but meanwhile, they're setting up these particular smart cities. We'll come right back to this. Check this out.
But the problem is that they don't want to give you the choice of living in these highly livable cities. They want to push you into living into these highly livable cities, which is why they have to keep marketing it that way.
The pandemic has given us new ways to reimagine living and working.
One of the maps here in Australia, in Sydney, where they plan on splitting the city up into 3 districts, it actually has the borders of where they don't want you to go past.
But I want to do even more to cement Sydney's reputation as the smart city down under. And we will make New South Wales the smartest state. The pandemic has given us new ways to reimagine living and working, become future-focused precincts of tomorrow.
Your tax file number, your car registration, your credit card, everything will be linked to this digital ID. So what happens when you leave your district?
This network will link every port, integrating 6 cities like never before. And it will accelerate the next stage of our economic evolution, all within reach of an urban hub.
When you leave that little border, what happens if you want to go to the mountains one day outside of your district?
The pandemic has given us new ways to reimagine living and working.
Because this is an information war. This is a war on your very mind.
You see the title, all right? This is the Lively Locksmith. This is his other page. All right, 4. It says, while the queen is dead, smart cities and digital IDs are being created. You see that? All right. And we know that they have a plan to link, all right, man with machine. As a matter of fact, when you look at this, all right, Biden announces boosts, all right, for U.S. biotech and bio manufacturing. Okay. And what is bio? Pretty much life. Okay. Let's see if we can look that up. And we'll read this article. All right, but we're going to look up bio here. All right. Like biology. All right, bio. All right, relating to life. Biological, relating to biology of living beings. All right. The boost of biotech. All right. A man with machine. All right. As a way to change manufacturing. And as you can see, all right, that D to the N to the A. Okay. Being what? Merged with technology. Okay. So for any Israelite that's ignoring this, okay, and telling you you don't have to worry about it, you have to use critical thinking at that point. Let's go back here. Where were we at? 409. Let's see here.
You've got until the end of September to use them. So if you've got any at home, dig them out, either take them to the shops and spend them, put them in your bank account. After the end of September, they won't be legal tender anymore. We've obviously moved now largely to the polymer notes, which are cleaner, safer and stronger. So there are £6 billion worth of the paper 20s still in circulation and £8 billion worth of the 50s still out there.
Sweden is fed up with cash. It's a hassle to carry around, it can easily be stolen or misplaced, and frankly, no one is using it anymore. 10 years ago, just about 40% of their population was paying with cash, and now, only 6%. So what's their answer? To go completely cashless by March of 2023. They're even planning a crypto called the e-krona for use starting this year. Folks, this is happening, and it's happening fast. Time to learn about Sweden's cashless plans and discuss if this could become a worldwide trend. At first glance, it may seem like Sweden is out of its mind. After all, in the United States, people are still using cash pretty gosh darn frequently. One study from the Pew Research Center,
which that's going to change,
found that 70% of Americans still use cash for their purchases on a weekly basis. But hop across the Atlantic to the Nordic North and you'll find a much different story. Sweden's usage of cash has dropped to a record low, and it continues to drop each year, all the way down to just 6%. Cards are being used for 58% of all payments, according to the Swedish Central Bank. And they also have revealed that 80% of the population currently carry plastic. The widespread use of cards over cash has even led to the majority of Swedish banks to stop letting customers withdraw or deposit cash at all. Branches have been steadily closing, and if for some reason a customer does need cash, their only choice is to head over to an ATM. Honestly, maybe the US should take some notes from Sweden. There will also be way less tax avoidance in a society with an entirely digital currency. And get this, there will be way less petty crime too. No more pickpockets, because there's no money in people's pockets.
Yeah, pickpocketing is that big of a, is that big of a scare that, oh boy. But that's how it's going to be promoted. And if you can't see that this is leading towards what John the Revelator saw, then either the spirit ain't dealing with you, or you just need to go jump in a trash can. And a lot of you Israelites, all right, are trying to put off this evil day. As a matter of fact, because you're at ease here. Okay, you don't want to go through the straight gate, all right, or ultimately you're afraid, you're faithless, and you don't think that the Heavenly Father can work and operate. Now, yeah, there's going to be a position of difficulty to straight gate, but we have a sure word of prophecy, man. Okay? That we're going to get a victory over the beast, his image is marked. It's supposed to look impossible. That's where the miracle comes in at. But we, as the children of Israel, all right, the elect, Lord willing, will that number, we're going to have to step out on faith. Okay? Woe to them, Amos 6:1. Woe to them that are at ease in Zion and trust in the mountain of Samaria. Okay? And that was the northern kingdom. All right. And you here in this time, you're trusting in the mount, all right, of Esau. All right. It says, which are named chief of the nations to whom the house of Israel came. All right. Then he goes into some judgments that happen. All right. And then when you jump to verse 3, it says, ye that put far away the evil day and cause the seat of violence to come near. Let's read this in the NLT. See what that says. Okay. All right. You push away every thought of coming disaster, but your actions only bring the day of judgment closer. And all of that pride is going to be addressed. All of that lack of prophesying, trying to hide, trying to act like you're fervent, but hiding it. All right. And really, you just have hatred for the prophets, but you ain't really warning the people. You ain't doing nothing but talking shit. The Lord is going to deal with that. All of you guys who've mocked and talked all of this crap, taping potato chips to your hand, telling Israel ain't no Jacob's trouble. The people of Israel who are in that mindset when all of this comes, they're going to be like, oh, and then they're going to look for the easiest way out. All right. And they're going to be listening to these 501c3 pastors that are bringing out Romans, the 13th chapter, telling you to go ahead and do what this devil tells you to do and watch where it gets you. OK, look at the juice, for an example. The juice, that was just like a drive-by shooting. And then afterwards, Esau's like, oh, my bad. I didn't mean to do that. But those who remain, who stood stiffly, I mean, at the end of the day, we all right. The Lord got us through it. But there were points like, oh, shit. Or there was certain people who may have lost particular jobs, but they good. Lord gave them another one. The Lord already has our destiny planned out. Either you trust him or you don't. So you got these Israelites trying to put the evil day far off. All right. But you're only really going to make it worse when the judgment comes, because it's coming either way. All right. The scriptures say both the righteous and the wicked are going to suffer straight things. You may as well suffer for the right reason, man. That you may be justified, man. Okay. That lie upon beds of ivory and stretch themselves upon their couches and eat lambs out of the flock and the calves out of the midst of the stall, that chant to the sounds of the viol and invent themselves instruments of the music like David. Oh, man. Brothers already know where I could go with that one. It's like a David demon out here. Everybody's David now, you know. Jake playing a harp. I'm the first one to bring, bro. We had harps years ago, bro. Brothers used to bring them to class and play them. You're not the first, and you're damn sure not King David. But that's the strong delusion that's going on out in Israel, man. Okay, this is the mindset of our people. They're just sitting here playing all of these stupid games. All right. Let's just read this in the NLT. I wonder what it says. It says, how terrible for you who sprawl on your ivory beds and lounge on your couches. You know this is talking about Jake, who eating the meat of the tender lamb out of the flock, all right, and the choice calves fattened in the stall. Now you go to Whole Foods or the lamb butcher, the butcher, talking shit. You sing trivial songs to the sound of the harp and fancy yourselves to be great musicians like David. That's happening right now. You drink wine by a bowl full. Niggas just drinking, talking, just tripping. And perfume yourselves with fragrant lotions. You care nothing about the ruin of your nation. Therefore, you will be the first to be led away as captives. Suddenly, all your parties will end. And that happened to the northern kingdom via the Assyrians. All right. The sovereign Lord, all right, has sworn by his name. This is what the Lord of the Lord's God's heaven's army says. I despise the arrogance of Israel, and I hate their fortresses. I will give this city and everything in it to their enemies. All right. And a lot of you Israelites are going to be the first ones, all right, rolled on. who have these 501c3s where you got systems set up where Israelites have to give their social security numbers. Okay, all of this stuff that we've been saying is coming. Let's go back here.
And certainly, small business owners will feel more safe as well, as there won't be any cash in their cash registers. In fact, don't take our word for it. Here's a quote from Christopher Lube, a general manager of a restaurant and ecological food company in Stockholm that just so happened to stop accepting cash a year ago. He said, "It's good for both the guests and for us. It's saved us a lot of time in that we don't have to count cash anymore. There's hardly been any reaction. Almost everybody has the alternative payment method, a credit card. But there certainly are some downsides to this move as well, and we got them for you right here. Cons to a cashless society include the struggle that many retirees, people with disabilities, and newly arrived refugees will face. These demographics aren't always as familiar with new technology, and imagine being new to the country and not being able to access a digital wallet. You'd be out of luck with even the most mundane purchases, which includes using the toilet. Oh yes, this is a real thing. Using a public toilet in Sweden can cost as much as 10 kroner. That's about $1. And if you can't pay for it, you ain't using it. There are also concerns of the lack of freedom of choice with this move to digital currencies. Some citizens simply depend on cash. And if it's gone, well, it seems like they'll just be out of luck.
So they're easing people out of cash this way. But it's not so much that much of an ease, because they're pretty much telling you, while one article says people are abandoning coins, the other article is saying you better abandon your notes. Because if you have $50, okay, if you have $50 sitting there and you don't cash it by September, it's worth zero. So you might as well either go spend it now or you better turn it in. And then
All right, so you hear that, and I don't know if this is, all of UK or certain parts. I don't know the particulars, but this is what's going on in the world, okay? And remember, we can't forget what our big brother, all right, John the Revelator saw. Remember, he saw this as a vision and wrote it down for us to read it in these times to make sense of what's happening around us. Okay, and then the Lord put it in the mouth of the prophets to speak out against these things constantly. Remember, the new song, okay, a part of it is speaking against this very system because it's boasting itself up against the Most High. He never intended on us to be linked with no damn technology. Okay, Revelation 13. Okay, all right. Again, we've been going into videos about how you're living in the revived Rome. Okay, and this is what's happening. Okay, Revelation 13 and 15. He had power to give life to the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause as many as will not worship the image of the beast should be killed. This word killed, all right, goes also into being separated. And we've been going into the image of the beast. Okay, the image of the beast ain't no picture of white Jesus, all right, running down the street, all right, telling everybody to repent. No. Okay, it's deeper than that. You still got camps running around with that breakdown. The image of the beast is white Jesus. Nigga, Christianity, when is the last time the powers that be mentioned some damn Christianity? They left that to the scoundrels like Vocab Malone, all right, and these low-level peons. Christianity has done its job. That's a failed project. It's over. It's done what it was supposed to do, just like the dollar. They're done with both. They're moving on to bigger and better things. Christianity has nothing to do, okay, with the future plan of this devil. Okay? Ultimately, this whole system, all right, which is the revived Rome, is now going digital. Okay? And it's speaking. Ancient Rome is speaking through this very system. Okay? And we're already seeing them like, nigga, you're not going to be able to have your own idea. You're not going to be able to have your own belief. And if you speak against, okay, if you speak against, all right, what we are doing, okay, you're going to be the number one enemy. Okay, in preparation for what? That charagma. Okay, Biden's DHS chief, okay, there's his name, Alejandro, okay, on Sunday declared that people who believe in con theories are America's #1 enemy. Okay? If you're against this craziness you see before you, if you're warning, you're going to be declared America's #1 enemy. Is that why particular camps ain't barking? Okay? I wonder why. Why ain't particular camps barking about this? You love the Most High. Here it is. We don't follow nothing this white man tell you to do. Everybody was these tough guys. Everybody was about the law, the law, the law. Well, the law tells you not to make any cuttings. Okay? The whole narrative of the men of the Lord is to not bow in the face of adversity. And now these 2-bit niggas are just sitting up here silent. Okay? See, see, the truth of the matter is getting ready to matter. Okay? And who's sincere about this word is getting ready to show forth. All of the talking that everybody's been doing, okay, we're going to see very, very soon and in these coming months, all right, and within this next year, oh my goodness, we're going to see a drastic change, and it's going to be a test to the faith of the saints, okay? But as you can see here, okay, if you have particular talking points, especially using the Bible, okay, you ultimately are going to be an enemy, okay? On the anniversary of September 1/1, all right, Mayorkas told MSNBC that the threat landscape has evolved. In the 21 years since, all right, Sept 1/1, all right, and the new threat the U.S. faces is not foreign terrorists, but Americans radicalized by ideology of hate, anti-government sentiment, and false narratives propagated on online platforms. See that? So look, in Revelation, the 13th chapter, John the Revelator saw them ushering in this very system, which is going to lead to the charagma, because that word killed again. We always go into it, but let's just tap into it again, okay? Apoktino, to kill, to destroy. All right. And those laws are coming too for people who think like us. All right. Why do you think in the book of Revelation 20, it talks about those who were beheaded for not taking the charagma and speaking against this system? Okay. Separation. That's the root word, apo. Separation, local separation. Okay. Of any kind of separation of one thing from another, by which the union or fellowship of the two is destroyed. So you're not going to be able to have fellowship with this world if you believe in a particular thing. If you've been online, particularly linking it to online, because they're going to say people are being radicalized by online talking points. So you're going to be separated. All right. And there's going to be a great insurrection. It's going to be crazy. There's going to be a breakdown of society. All kind of things are going to be happening. And then verse 16 says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive charagma in their right hand or in their foreheads. Why? Okay. A lot of these camps, they'll just jump there. See in the right hand when you pledge allegiance, flag, embargo, white women. Solomon had it. Now, how in the hell could Solomon have had the mark when Revelation 1 tells you everything written in Revelation, all right, are things which must come to pass? Idiot. Okay? This is a vision of now. And the reason he's going to give you this charagma, which is a physical thing, is that you can buy and sell. Without it, you're not going to be able to buy and sell. How does that not make sense with everything we seeing happening, all right, in this particular time? Let's go here. It's another video. As you can see the title, the rollout is here. And that's everything we're seeing is the rollout. All right. FedNow, a real-time payment system coming as early as 2023. The system will operate 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and is expected to cost significantly less than fees charged for wire transfers and debit card transactions.
Know this and how blockchain ties into it. A lot of people don't understand how cryptocurrency works, which is understandable, but all this stuff ties into cash, digital payments, where people think, well, we already use PayPal and we already use credit cards, so what's the difference? They don't realize that blockchain is going to be inside of people, and I'm going to show you all of these things in this video, but I want to thank a subscriber on the website by the name The More Power who shared this. And again, I have a lot going on in my life, and people don't realize that, and because I don't open up about my life, and that's because this channel is not about me. This is about the content that I put out there. But what's really great and important about the website is that everybody picks each other up and everybody shares information. You know, I don't know more than anybody else. I have my now is set to launch by July 2023. Now, people just hear this and they think to themselves, it's not a big deal. Digital currency. It's like crypto. It's like, you know, Bitcoin and all this stuff, which was the precursor for this. Bitcoin, I always talk about desensitizing people to certain things, which is pretty much everything that they do. Because if people realize what they were really doing, if they just did it overnight, people would react by saying, no, I'm not interested. No, you're not doing that. They need to ease everybody into everything, and they desensitize people. That's the whole point of Bitcoin and everything else. There's going to be a massive one world currency, which is going to be a digital currency. Now, I'm going to show you the video that the Federal Reserve released on their YouTube channel. So it shows you what FedNow is, and I'm going to show you what blockchain is. But one thing that's important to remember is this key word. I'm going to start using it more and more so that when people hear it, they realize what they're trying to do, and that is stakeholder. They use the word stakeholder. We hear Klaus Schwab, we hear the World Economic Forum constantly say it because they want to be able to mind control people into thinking that they're in control when they have no control. And that's what they're doing with this federal currency. They're telling you that it's decentralized. They're telling you that no one's in control of any of it, when in reality that is the total opposite is true. They're in total control of everything, including all of your information and all of your data. And it's all going to be tied inside your body. Now, let me play this clip first about how Bitcoin, they're doing experiments, because they're doing this with, not Bitcoin, excuse me, blockchain. They're doing this with blockchain across very many different species. They're doing it with rats, they're doing it with monkeys, they're doing it with humans, because the plan at the end of the day is to have this inside of you. You will not be able to buy or sell without having the mark. Okay, that means something that's inside of your body. You will not be able to make purchases without it, and that's why they need to get everything digital. So this is a clip from Stephen Colbert where they were deflecting and making humor about the fact that they were testing blockchain in rats. If anyone had common sense, they would say, why would they need to test blockchain in rats? I don't get it. Because what happens after rats? Oh, humans. And why would they want it inside of humans? Well, I think you can figure that out. Here's the clip.
And this is the thing. This demon, you all need to question your leaders, okay? And you can do it respectfully, okay? Could you explain, why don't they ever break down this buy? You notice they never break down the buying and selling aspect. Okay, first of all, they tell you the charagma is something spiritual. Well, okay, let's see, what did John see? Okay, he saw a charagma, okay, which is clearly a stamp, an imprinted mark, okay, a mark branded up on horses to show ownership, a thing carved, sculpture, a graven work. He saw a physical idol, okay, a mark, okay, an idol, an idolatrous image, okay. That word is also used here, Acts 17 and 29, for as much, Acts 17 and 29, for as much then we are the offspring of the Most High, we ought not to think that the Godhead is like unto gold or silver or stone or graven art by a man's device. See, that's what they're getting ready to do. They're getting ready to, all right, X out the Most High, and this will be the new God. They will be the new God via this device. Okay, they know when you've been sleeping. They know when you've been awake. They know when you've been bad or good. So be good for goodness sake. Satan is Santa. Santa is Satan. Okay? Ho, ho, ho. Don't you know the Most High, all right, says ho, ho in the scriptures? As a matter of fact, let's get that. I said ho, go. Hoes do need to go. Zechariah 12:2-6. Ho, ho, come forth and flee out of the land of the north, saith Yahweh. I have spread you abroad as the four winds of heaven, saith the Lord. Okay? And he's going to get us up out of this place. All right? But Esau the whole time has been trying to play the Most High subtly through these little characters and different devices and all of this crap. But this is how it's going to be fulfilled. Okay? Something physical. Man's device. Point blank, period. Ain't nothing you niggas got to say anymore, okay? You know, and we can go to the root of that. Okay? And the Lord is allowing these videos to go up for a reason, because this stuff is getting ready to be illegal to say. Okay? We're putting ourselves in harm's way for the elect's sake. We endure all things for the elect's sake. All right? Karox, a pail, stake, or a palisade, which is something you stick in the ground. So y'all ain't got nothing to say, man. It says to sharpen to a point. Okay? The idea of scratching. So this is physical. All right? This is a physical thing, man. Okay? They're getting ready to transcend what it means to be a human.
There's a plan to put Bitcoin in mouse DNA with a genetically engineered virus. Here's the plan. You may know a Bitcoin wallet can only be accessed using its private key. They will buy some Bitcoin, then tie the mouse's value to that Bitcoin by editing the mouse's genetic code to carry the private key that controls the Bitcoin. This manipulation will result in genetically engineering the world's first douche mouth.
Okay. Now, for those of you that don't understand, before I get to the Fed's video, how this all works, again, blockchain and digital currency, this is how it all works. It's all about, listen to some of the trigger words in there, about how the people are in control. Because this new world order, I've said this many times over, is going to be under the mind control influence that you're in control. That there isn't this higher power hierarchy of elite corporate goons and all these people in control, that the people are in control. The people are the ones doing this. When that's not the case. They're just going to use things like stakeholders to make you feel responsible, like you have power in this, when you don't. And they're going to have the power to freeze your bank accounts. They're going to have power to do everything with you, including control you. But here is just a rundown on how this works.
When you vote, have you ever wondered whether your ballot is actually counted? If you meet someone online, how do you know they're who they say they are? When you buy coffee that's labeled fair trade, what makes you so certain of its origin? To be sure, really sure, about any of those questions, you'd need a system where records could be stored, facts could be verified by anyone, and security is guaranteed. That way, no one could cheat the system by editing records, because everyone using the system would be watching. Systems like this are on the horizon, and the software that powers them is called a blockchain. Blockchains store information across a network of personal computers, making them not just decentralized, but distributed. This means no central company or person owns the system, yet everyone can use it and help run it. This is important because it means it's difficult for any one person to take down the network or corrupt it. The people who run the system use their computer to hold bundles of records submitted by others, known as blocks, in a chronological chain. The blockchain uses a form of math called cryptography to ensure that records can't be counterfeited or changed by anyone else. You heard of the blockchain's first killer app, a form of digital cash called Bitcoin that you can send to anyone, even a complete stranger.
All right. So I got to roll. I got to make a move, but you see what it is. All right. You can check that video out. I mean, again, all right. Your boy Biden he's doing the bidding of the elite. All right, a $52 billion chip law implementation. They ain't got money to give to Jackson for the water crisis. They ain't got money to give to Detroit. They got money to send over to Ukraine, all right, to further these agendas in war, okay? And they got money to put towards this plan to bring forth these chips, okay? And again, we'll get into this deeper on the next one. All right, but the boost for U.S. biotech manufacturing, okay? And that's on you can go look at that also on the White House website. Apostle Ramlap brought it out, all right? It's the playing ground. They're laying the infrastructure for this system, all right, that John the Revelator saw, okay? Biotechnology harness. It says it's the policy of my administration to coordinate a whole of government approach to advanced biotechnology and biomanufacturing towards innovative solutions in health, climate change, energy, food security, agriculture, supply chain resilience, all right, and national economic security. See? So they coming with it, man. You know, and we'll go deeper into it. Maybe on another episode. But again, all right, let's read this real quick. All right, because I got to make a move. Ezekiel 33 and 33. And when this cometh to pass, all right, and lo, it will come, then shall they know that a prophet have been among them. All right, and we've been telling you these things, man. All right, we've been telling you big time. So persecution is coming. We'll get into this more on the next News and Prophecy, Lord willing. We got to tap into this. And again, the water to the brother who sent this. And Lord willing, we'll be back with more edification. Hopefully you all were edified. And this concludes today's News and Prophecy. Shalom.